6 p.m., March 15th, 2022, City of Pasadena, Texas, council meeting. Pastor, I don't see the pastor here.
She gonna say the prayer?
You want to say a prayer, ma'am? Okay, come here. Come up here. Hurry up. Pray for this council meeting right here. Go ahead. Pray.
What one do I do?
Any prayer you want to say. Say bless this council meeting. Amen.
Bless this council
Meeting.
meeting. Amen.
Okay, thank you. Short prayers work too. Now go sit down. Thank you.
And I have to follow that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Can everybody face the United States flag? We're gonna say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, Mr. Bass.
Good evening. Thank y'all for coming tonight, and everybody be safe, and we've got spring coming, so enjoy the weather. Oh, also, we're all having to get up a little bit earlier, so try to get that into your schedule. With that, I pass.
Thank you.
Mayor, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman, he's not here. Councilman Valerio?
Thank you all for being here. Thank you, little lady, for stepping up and saying the prayer. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Councilman Harrison?
Thank you, Mayor. Saturday a week ago, I was at Pal Gym, and they were having a citywide basketball tournament. And it was Saturday and Sunday, and I got to go watch the finals. And I tell you, after watching those boys and girls play, I realized that recreation is still alive and well in Pasadena. Those kids really wanted to play, their parents. The Pal Gym had a full house. And the only thing I noticed that sometimes when a child fell and got hurt, bumped his head, the mothers would go out there and attend to him and take care of him. But I realized there was a problem there, and I talked to somebody in the administration department. I said, we need to do something in case somebody was really hurt. And he came up with a solution. So you got a problem, and I appreciate him coming up with a solution. The solution is for our ambulance services, while they're sitting waiting, when we have some tournament, we can have them sitting there, somebody specialized, to see that if our children get hurt, that they can take care of it. I appreciate that, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Councilman Van App.
The Odell Harrison Recreation Center at Red Bluff Park will be closed for repairs for a few months. They are expected to open before school gets out, so they'll be available for the summer. The Harris County Public Library is working with the Pasadena Library. If you do not have internet service, or if you have low-speed internet, you can check out a Wi-Fi hotspot. You must have a library card to do this, but you can get a library card at the library.
Thank you. Councilman Estrella.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll pass.
Councilman Caton.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say, let's all continue to pray for the people in Ukraine, and may their lives be spared, and may we have peace with Russia again.
Amen.
And I pass.
Okay, brings down to citizens wishing to speak to council. Robert, you're up.
Good evening, council. Been a while. First off, great job on the prayer. Second, I see that we have on final readings an ordinance with Intercontinental Terminals Company for a pipeline. As long as they don't set this one on fire, I'm good with that. Secondly, city employees, or I've gotten some public complaints about allegations where city employees are showing up later in the day, taking long lunches, and then leaving early. I don't have any names, but if people are working on the taxpayer dime, if we could make sure that they're doing the work. And again, I'm not making any specific allegations, just grumbling out in the community. And then lastly, some folks are concerned about crime rates as it relates to changing economic conditions and those potentially rising. So if we could continue to do our best to keep the crime down, that would be great. Thank you, council.
Thank you, sir. Julius Sampson?
Well, I want to thank y'all for letting me come up here and say something. I'm here to do a complaint about two neighbors over on my street over on 1708 Thelma Lane. Now, 1706 Thelma Lane, I've tried to get them to work with me so we can take that old chain link fence down that belongs to them, because they put a privacy fence up right behind it. And there's a tree is on their property, line is leaning over into my backyard. And I've tried to get them to work with me, let them have access in my backyard to the thing. We all both take the chain link fence. I even offered to help them, and they won't do it. Now, sooner or later, there's going to be a big mess in there when springtime comes, when everything in full bloom. Now, they can go out there and have their big parties in their backyard 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and don't have no respect about the neighborhood, that loud music. Now, I'm here not to be mean and ugly to my neighbors. I want to work with my neighbors and help clean up there. And over on 1710 Thelma Lane, same thing. There's an old chain link fence belongs to that landlord. Last year, at this time, they had a big windstorm, and that old tree there had a fork like that. It was on their side of the property. It split and fell on my power line. And during that time, I had to have Centerpoint come down there and cut the tree limb off my power line. It's lucky they didn't come in there and break off my house, hit that ground, hit that chain link fence. It'd be all kind of disasters up and down that neighborhood, especially with a direct ground in there. What I'm trying to do, clean up my property. I want to clean up my property, make it look good. When you drive up in the driveway and look there, you got a well-uniform fence line. Because 1710's got a brand-new fence sitting there on their property, an old fence sitting right there. And, sir, I'd like to have the neighbors work with me. I'm not here to be mean and nasty, but I want to clean that place up. And my wife not told me to do anything, because we're fixing to have some work done on our home. Because we're going to have it tore down and put a brand-new one in place. And I want to be able to have that brand-new home looking good with a good backyard. And on the back part of the yard, there on the fence road on city property, a few years back, they put a brand-new sewer main back there in the back. And they replaced that fence, the city did. And I got no problem with that part, and I can keep that part of the fence cleaned up real good. But all I ask y'all, come by on my property, I'll let y'all come in the back, take pictures along the fence road. That way you can have the evidence and write letters on it, 1706. And the other lady at 1710, she lives over there in the Lake City somewhere.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And that's it.
Okay.
Good.
Damian Cates?
Kind of help.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, I've never been here before, and probably never will be, hopefully. But I was just making a complaint. I live on 2401 Huntington in Red Bluff Terrace, and on the Delta Street, so I live at the corner of Delta and Huntington. The closer, in the second photo, you can really see it. The closer it gets to the telephone pole, there's like a area where the pavement is not touching the curb, so it's forming like a gully, almost like a long pothole. And then when it gets to the telephone pole, the curb completely is level with the street. It's sunk in. And I think sometime back in the 90s, there was a main sewer line put down the middle of that those two backyards, and it's been sunken for who knows how long. But my mom used to live there, and she made a complaint about it in 2003, and nothing. She died 8 years later, and nothing had been done. So I took over her house when she died, and it's been 8 years since I've been there, and I've complained. This will be the third time, like maybe about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and nothing's been done. So it's been 19 years. But on Roseby, which one street over, they've done the whole sidewalk, the whole way down the street, fixed all the driveways they messed up, or most of them. And I'm like, 19 years, and they're getting a whole new sidewalk in the next street. And that, where it forms that depression, I had to actually shovel my dirt out of that because it just flows into the street right there because there's no curb. And I'm like, I'll do that for the last time. And I just had to shovel my dirt out of the pothole and throw it in my yard. So I've complained about it, just calling the mayor's hotline many times, and nothing's ever been done about it. So I'm hoping before I die that something can be done about it. So that's the only reason. I've never been to a city council meeting in my life. So I didn't know really what to bring or what, so I just print out some photos. And
You did everything right, sir. Thank you. We'll look
Okay.
at it. Thank you, sir.
do I have to stay till the end of the meeting?
No,
or-
you may leave. Okay, council, that brings us down to presentation of minutes, March 1st, 2022, 10 a.m. Motion Caton. Second Estrada. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Brings down to progress payments. Motion Shanebine. Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Brings us down to finance resolutions. Motion Estrada. Second Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Brings us down to personnel changes A and C. Motion Caton. Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Madam Secretary, brings us down to final readings.
Ordinance 2022-16, 2022-17, 2022-18, 2022-26, 2022-27, 2022-28, 2022-29.
So moved.
Motion by Harrison, second by Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Madam Secretary, brings us down to first readings.
Ordinance 2022-30, authorizing approving a contract by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas and Geoscience Engineering and Testing Incorporated for materials testing services for the Llano Street Paving and Drainage Improvements Phase 2 Project CIP number S123 for a total appropriation of $50,000 from the General CIP Fund Balance Account. Ordinance 2022-31, authorizing approving extension of an annual contract for demolition services for a period of 1 year, approved by Ordinance 2019-64 and extended by Ordinance 2020-46 and 2021-47 between the City of Pasadena, Texas and K&K Tractor Services, LLC. Ordinance 2022-32, authorizing approving the acceptance of an award from the Office of Justice Programs for fiscal year 21 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance CFDA number 16.607 in the amount of $10,993.03. Ordinance 2022-33, authorizing approving a contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas and SER Construction Partners, LLC for the Llano Street Paving and Drainage Improvements Phase 2 Project CIP number S123 for a total appropriation of $3,530,192.91 from Community Development Block Grant and General Fund Balance Account. Ordinance 2022-34, authorizing and approving the community garden rules and regulations and agreement developed by Parks and Recreation Department.
Motion.
Got a motion by Shanebine, second by Bass. Any questions? Go ahead, ma'am.
There is a difference between protecting the city as an entity and protecting the people of the city. We have an item here for community garden rules, and I'm fine with the rules for the garden. And I like the project. I'd love to see a community garden. But part of this is asking people to sign a waiver saying that if they are injured due to the sole negligence of the city, that the city will not be held liable. And if they are injured due to actual gross negligence of the city, this city will not be held liable. That means that if the city knew there was a problem and did nothing, that these people are just sorry out of luck. And I will not ask people to sign away their rights to use a city facility. Now, without a waiver, you have the issue that if someone's injured, the city would have to pay for it, and the taxpayers pay for it. And this is bad because no matter which way you go on this, it hurts people. But I'm not going to ask people to sign away their rights. So while I like everything else about this, I will be voting no on 2F, which is 2022-34, and voting yes on the rest of them.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And we have one no on the F, and we got that, so passes, brings down to resolutions.
Resolution 2022-39, authorizing observation of the San Jacinto holiday by the city of Pasadena for the 2022 calendar year only on April 22nd, 2022. Resolution 2022-40, accepting an in-kind donation of prize for bingo valued at $150 from the Reserve at Pasadena for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with Madison Job Senior Center. Resolution 2022-41, authorizing the mayor of the city of Pasadena on behalf of the Pasadena Police Department to accept a donation from the Pasadena Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association, CPAAA, for the purchase of 20 hooded sweatshirts valued at $540 for the Pasadena Police Department Crisis Negotiation Team. Resolution 2022-42, accepting donations from various donors in the combined amount of $16,756.59 for use by Animal Control for the care and treatment of the animals housed in the shelter. Resolution 2022-43, accepting and approving the comprehensive annual financial report of the City of Pasadena, Texas for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2021, as prepared by the City Controller's Office and audited by Belt Harris Pekachek and Associates, LLP, Certified Public Accountants. Resolution 2022-44, authorizing the mayor to execute the city and the city secretary to attest general and no litigation certificate of the City of Pasadena and certificate of the City of Pasadena and certificate of approval relating to the issuance of multifamily housing revenue bonds by Southeast Texas Housing Finance Corporation for the Parkside Place Apartments multifamily project located in the City of Pasadena.
We have a motion by Caton, second by Bass. Any questions?
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to discuss item 2022-43. I'd like to thank our city controller for putting together our annual comprehensive financial report. Our controller's office has won numerous awards over the past several years, and Julie St. Jean, our controller, is carrying on that tradition with her staff, and I'd like to thank them for all their hard work.
Thank you, sir. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Branson, since she did a prayer, you come here, you're going to end this meeting real quick. Come up here real quick. That way I don't get in trouble. Say, this meeting is adjourned, and hit this right here. Get up here and say it. This meeting is adjourned.
This meeting is adjourned.
There you go. Thank you, everybody.